Knowledge is power. In the case of the Jedi, it meant absolute power. The Sith focus on gaining power for power's sake, but again the Jedi want to learn as much as possible. But what happens when a Jedi Knight learns too much, or even worse, learns the incorrect information? What happens if, say, a Jedi believed that the Jedi Order was responsible for why the Sith were so evil, and came under the opinion that the Sith were actually the good beings in the galaxy and the ones trying to save it? What if even beyond this, that this individual discovered that the Jedi literally created the Sith through their own teachings? In today's video, we will explore that, and how that actually happened in Star Wars Legends. Happened and created another Force user order that was different from the Jedi and the Sith, sort of a gray Jedi order known as the Gensarai. The first member of this gray Jedi order, known as the Gensarai, was named Nikos Tyrus. Nikos Tyrus was in fact a Jedi Knight during the age of the Clone Wars, and a faithful Jedi Knight up until this point, not having any desire to pursue the dark side of the Force in any capacity. Despite this though, Nikos wanted knowledge, and because of his pursuit of knowledge, Nikos did not have any quarrels with breaking certain Jedi rules. One of those rules was venturing into the Forbidden section of the Jedi Archive. In the Forbidden section of the Archives, Nikos came across an ancient holocron that he believed was Jedi in origin. The manuscript and holocron that Nikos came across belonged to Larad Noon. Larad Noon was in fact an expert on the ancient Sith, and an ancient Sith Lord himself, who detailed the first Dark Lords of the universe. Much of the information that he presented within his holocron was 100% accurate. He detailed how the Jedi Order began a civil war after a select few members began studying the ways of dark side alchemy. The holocron went over all of the events of the war, up until the point where the Dark Jedi were exiled into unknown space, and it would be within that unknown space that they would discover the original Sith species. All of this information was factually accurate, with the exception of one small detail. One small detail that would begin the largest organization of Grey Jedi in the Star Wars mythos. This one piece was that the Sith learned all of their dark side abilities and dark side knowledge from the Jedi Order, and secretly that the Jedi Order had always coveted this knowledge for themselves, not being willing to share it with others. Basically, Nikos discovered that the Jedi had created the Sith, and what the Sith was actually studying and worshipping was Jedi knowledge, just small sections of it. In a sense, Nikos discovered that the Jedi were in fact an order that were loyal to the dark side as well as the light side, a lie that caused him to leave the Jedi Order. What's worse than this is he believed that the Jedi actually learned everything they could from their dark Jedi brethren as well as the Sith before they exiled them, keeping this dark side knowledge for themselves and hoping that their fallen brothers and sisters would die in the unknown region. It was because of this reason that Nikos Tyrus left the Jedi Order but did not abandon the Force entirely. Instead, Nikos studied what he believed was the pure base of the Jedi Order, incorporating both the light and the dark side of the Force within his training. After he believed he had learned the true knowledge of the Jedi, he began taking disciples and named this new order the Gensarai. Unknown to Nikos, he began walking down the path of the dark side of the Force, as in large part what he actually studied was dark side in origin and not true Jedi doctrine. In a sense, Nikos wanted to follow the light side of the Force, but everything that he was surrounded by was dark in origin, and because of this, unknowingly so, many of his apprentices fell to the dark side of the Force, but still continued to train as Gensarai. It would in fact be this organization that would grow to hate specifically one Jedi Master. This Jedi Master's name was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because the Gensarai believed that the Jedi had wronged the Sith, they ultimately were on the Sith side when they rose in the galaxy. The Gensarai weren't really loyal to the Sith, but they believed that the Sith were the only ones that could destroy the Jedi and bring balance to the Force. Their whole view on the true events of Star Wars and the original trilogy were muddled. In their minds, they were viewers that would do whatever they could in order to aid the Sith in destroying their ultimate enemy, the evil Jedi. The Jedi that had lied to Nikos during his time as a Jedi himself, and were in fact a dark side organization. It was because of this that this Grey Jedi group, the Gensarai, would do anything they could to help Darth Vader and Darth Sidious destroy the Jedi. The group was actually aware of a few Order 66 survivors, those survivors being Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ultimately though, the group grew to hate Obi-Wan more than anything, as he was described in records as the perfect Jedi Master. Therefore, more than anyone else in the wide galaxy, the Gensarai wanted to see Kenobi fall. It is at this point in our explanation where the original trilogy actually kicks off, and Darth Vader had his opportunity to confront Obi-Wan Kenobi yet again, decades after Obi-Wan defeated Darth Vader on Mustafar. Eventually, word of Obi-Wan Kenobi's death would find its way back to the Gensarai thanks to insider knowledge, and the Gensarai rejoiced, as they believed the greatest Jedi had been slain by Darth Vader. The Gensarai's view of the galaxy and war between the Jedi and Sith was completely switched around because of one piece of misinformation, and it was because of this that the Gensarai hailed Darth Vader as a savior and condemned Obi-Wan Kenobi as an evil conqueror, and what the Gensarai hoped was the last of a dark side based order of Jedi Knights. But that is why this group of Gensarai actually hated Obi-Wan Kenobi more than any other Jedi. In future videos, we will also detail more about the Gensarai and their role in Order 66 and with Darth Vader specifically. So if you want to learn more about the Gensarai, please leave a like on this video. As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.